Today we're going to discuss two strategies to factorize. First is factorization by grouping, and the next one by common factor. I have brought these three examples to discuss them step by step. So let's get started. For our first exercise, we have this example here. This example is an expression comprised of two terms. And if you recall from previous lessons, every term is comprised of a sign, a coefficient, and a variable. Of course, the power of such a variable. In this case, we're going to use the technique of factorizing by common factor. If we do that, we need to first of all obtain the common factor in the coefficients and the common factor in the variables if that is applicable. Let's try to do this. For the first term here, we have a number 5 and a number 10. What we need to do is to express each coefficient independently, 5 and 10. And then I will find the factors that end up in the specific number over here. For example, 5 can be represented by multiplications, that is 5 times 1. This will be 5. The number 10 can be represented by, for example, 5 multiplied by 2. And if you observe here, we have something in common, the number 5. This means that this is the maximum common factor. After this, what we need to check now is the variables. In the variables, we have an a squared in the first term and an a in the second term. I will do exactly the same procedure that I did here. I will write a squared and a. It is the same procedure here. A squared can be represented by a multiplied by a, right? For the second example, we have a. In this case, will be a, like this. And if you observe, we have a common factor here that is a. And this will be then a. Okay? So we have these two things in common with these two factors, that is the 5, the coefficient 5, and the variable a. Then the next step that you need to do here is to write 5 multiplied by a and open a parenthesis. And the next step is to find an expression over here that result in the first term. In this case, we have 5a. What should I multiply this against in order to get this first term? What I will do here, I will write a. If you observe, 5a power 1 by a will be 5a power 2 by the law of exponents, right? Then this is ready. The first term is done. Now for the second one, we have a negative. This factor here is positive. It will multiply something in order to get a term that is negative. This means that if this is positive, I should multiply by minus. In this case, will be plus by minus. This will result in a minus. And then 5 by 2. So I will have 5 by 2 is 10. And the a is already here. I don't have to write any other a. And this will be the result. It's easy to prove that this is correct. You just need to do the expansion or to do the multiplication. And we can do that by saying 5a by a is 5a squared. And 5a by minus 2, in this case, will be plus by minus is minus by the rule of signs. 5 by 2 is 10. And the variable a. And this is exactly what we have over here. For a second example, we have something quite similar. We have also an expression of two terms. In this case, you can observe that we have a squared over here and a squared over here as well. So I will do it directly. This will be a squared that should multiply something in order to get this term here. In this case, what we are lacking to get this term is x squared. So we will have a squared multiplied by ax squared is this term. For the next term, we have a positive. So this is positive. This should be as well positive, right? And we have an a squared, and we have it already here. So this means that we need to multiply by 1. And this is the result. For the third example, we have this expression over here that is comprised of 4 terms. In this case, we are going to apply the technique of factorizing by grouping, okay? For this case, I will take the first two terms and I will observe what is common between them. And between them, if you observe here, what we have in common is the y. So I will write this expression by saying, taking out the y, and then looking for an expression over here that gives me the first term. In this case, we will need to express 2x multiplying by y will end up in this y. Okay, the next term that I have is minus 7y. I have the y already outside and it's positive. This means that I need to have a negative here in order to get the result negative. Plus by minus, it will result in minus. And then I will write the number 7 here because 7y is what I need here. So these two terms are already incorporated in this expression, okay? Now, we are missing these two ones over here, and what I will do is to take out what is in common between these two. And if you observe, we have a number 4. I will write it over here. We have a number 4, and we have a number 14. What I need to do here is to obtain the maximum common factor that we have discussed before. The number 4 can be expressed by 2 by 2, and the 14 can be expressed by 2 by 7. So the common factor between them will be 2. Then I will write here plus 2 that multiplies something in here that give us the 4x. In this case, we have 2, then we need a 2x. So 2 by 2x will be 4x, okay? And then this term is already covered. The last term is negative, and we have a positive outside this parenthesis. This means that I need to have a negative inside to get the negative when the multiplication is done. I have a number 2. To get 14 should be number 7. But still, we can do something else in here. If you observe, we have in common something, a binomial. A binomial in common, 2x minus 7 and 2x minus 7. This means that we can group still this even more. We can say that the common factor then is 2x minus 7. And then I should multiply this 2x minus 7 in order to get this first expression. We have already the 2x minus 7 is missing the y. So I will just write y over here. The next part is this section. We have positive. This means this factor is already here, okay? And then we need a positive and the number 2. And this will be the result. If you have found this video useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.